Hey, what is up you guys? Welcome back to another lorcana video. Today we are continuing with our set champ practice. We are still playing with Brandon DeCandio's Steelsong, and we're up against probably our worst matchup, Ruby Sapphire Sisu on ice. I don't know my opponent's exact build, but it is similar to this one on the screen right now. I think there are just some number changes, but all the cards should be the same. But yeah, right off the bat, not off to a great start. We do not find our 1-drop, and our only 2-drop that we find is Piglet Poo Pirate Captain. My opponent gets a Popsicle turn 1, Ice Block on turn 2. We are going to sing Bare Necessities here, and we see some good targets. We see the Brawl, we see Be Prepared, we see Fishbone. And I think about this for a bit here, and the reason I'm thinking is I have an aerial for my turn 3 drop, so I consider taking out the Brawl. I end up taking out the Fishbone. I think that was the right decision. I think this was the wrong decision though. I end up playing Pete because I'm scared of the Brawl, and I'm trying to protect Piglet, I guess, without playing aerial. But we see here my opponent top decks a Fishbone Quill, which is the worst case scenario because I have developed nothing here. I just have a Piglet and a Pete out, and he still has a Brawl, so the Brawl is still going to come for me next turn. So I definitely should just bit the bullet, just played the aerial, hopefully find a song before moving on to the next turn. And if he still wanted to play Fishbone there, I could have played Pete on this turn and prevented the Brawl, so I could have stalled another turn. But yeah, overall, not the best move. I end up playing aerial this turn, and I go for the quest, and my opponent now gets to ramp with Fishbone while he's brawling me. So he gets to brawl the aerial away, and yeah, not the best start here, and we're already kind of floundering. I don't have another character to play, which is kind of sad. I have to end up using my ink to Whole New World for my opponent too, so even though we had to do it, my opponent gets to see a brand new hand. I end up not questing, hoping to survive another turn, but my opponent finds another Brawl, gets my Piglet. It was really unfortunate we didn't find another character because our Piglet did not get a chance to get at least another 3 ink for us before he went away. But yeah, my opponent finds a Hiram on his turn, and for us on our next turn, now we have a brand new hand. We can start playing out some characters. We're going to play our Cinderella, we play out our Shmee, and I end up committing. I'm just going to play another Piglet too. I feel like we just have to do pressure now. My opponent has ramped it too far. Some of his higher end drops are going to start coming down and being a pain. So yeah, Hiram's going to keep drawing for him until we answer, which is sad. My opponent finds a Madame Medusa, so takes out our Piglet. We don't get to quest again, unfortunately, with him. And yeah, it's not looking great because my opponent has ramped sufficiently to hit a lot of his high drops, and we only got 4 lore on the board. And yeah, things aren't looking great, unfortunately, and we're just gonna have to try and ride it out, hope for the best here. We do have Big Cindy on this turn, and we're just gonna go for it. So with Pete, we are going to sing Strength of Raging Fire. So because I do want to get rid of Hiram this turn, that seems to be the play here. I think so. Okay, so here's the problem. I sang that so that my Cindy could take out the Madame Medusa. In retrospect, that wasn't it. I don't think that was a great play, just because Madame Medusa is not doing anything for my opponent. All I should have done is attacked Hiram. I have Pete, I have Shmee. I could have just attacked Hiram and then just quested with Cindy. Just ignore the Madame Medusa. When she's on the board, she's not doing anything for my opponent. I don't know why I'm wasting so much time when I should be getting lore. So yeah, my opponent ends up playing his big Sisu here. Luckily for us, not the biggest hit. He does have 1 Ice Block, but that just helps take Shmee out, and we still have Pete and Cindy here. And now I just feel like I have to deal with this Sisu. The good thing about attacking with Cindy last turn is I get to heal with Rapunzel and get some draws here. But I feel like we have to deal with Sisu just because I feel like if we get Be Prepared or something, then it's just not great for us. So I'm gonna go ahead and sing Along Came Zeus to get rid of Sisu. Go ahead and quest for 1, and then just hold this board here. And at least I don't know. Maybe I should have ignored the Sisu as well. Just go for lore here. Yeah, I don't know. Why, you guys tell me what you think, if that was the right move or not. If you would have just kept questing with Cindy, because I feel like to win you have to put, like, you know, your foot on the gas pedal, keep questing, and just trying to control Ruby Sapphire just sounded wrong. So I feel like maybe that wasn't right. I'm still trying to learn this deck, so yeah, I don't know. Some of you Steelsong players out there or whatnot, let me know what you think about the moves and what you would have done differently. That would have been great to continue to learn. But yeah, my opponent gets the Maleficent out the Cindy. She didn't get to do any questing, she just did some clearing, and that was it. So yeah, I think in retrospect, definitely not the right move here. I go ahead and quest out, but then he's going to ice block my shifted Robin Hood and get out his Brawl to take care of him. And my opponent continues to have really good answers here. He has a Maui, so Rapunzel also gets taken out. And I think he debates for a bit if Maleficent is going to also be clearing before he ends up also taking out the Pete. But yeah, I mean, we started out pretty well this game, I think, but we kind of lost... yeah, we lost momentum really quickly just because, yeah, I think I was just too focused on, like, wiping my opponent's board for whatever reason. Like, Madame Medusa, I think that was definitely the wrong play. Should not have, should just completely ignored her. She doesn't do anything. But, yeah, we just go ahead, quest wish me just to try to edge out a win. We are at 12 lore, I mean. But, yeah, here my opponent is going to play out Medusa, and I just end up throwing in the towel just because I'm top decking here and he gets to have probably another huge play next turn. So I'm just going to go next. We had a significant lore lead, but with Ruby Sapphire, it doesn't really matter. He had like big characters out on the board and was going to start getting momentum real quick. But yeah, next game, we are on the play once again. Since we lost, we're going to go for Robin Hood on turn 1. My opponent gets out a Popsicle. And continuing the pressure, we are going to go for Lantern and Cindy. Very nice turn 2 play, and we are going to go ahead and quest with our Robin Hood. So good start so far. My opponent finds a Popsicle for his turn 2, and for our turn 3 we are going to go ahead and ink this Tinkerbell, and we are going to shift into Robin Hood and go straight for a whole new world. It's a pretty good time to do it. My opponent has a pretty big hand because all he's been playing is Popsicles, so he's just been replenishing his own hand. We're going to see a lot of his big drops ending up in the discard here. And yeah, we are gonna end our turn with playing another Robin Hood, questing with Cindy, and just keep the pressure going. We see on turn 3 my opponent ends up having to brawl Cindy, so he does not find his Fishbone, which is very, very good news for us. And I think he ends up picking Cinderella just because we have the opportunity to shift into Big Cindy on the next turn, and he didn't want to deal with that. So this is really great for us though, because that was a really, really passive play. We can keep continuing to put more pressure on our opponent here. We're just going to drop Piglet and drop another Robin Hood and go for the quest. And now that my opponent had stalled the turn to not ramp, now that he finds his Fishbone, he is going to go ahead and start the ramp. And a little too late here. He gets a 1-jump ahead. He gets a Fishbone, gets a lot of ink, but we already have a pretty big board. I actually deliberate for a little bit here before I end up not playing anything, and I just go ahead and quest with everything. And my opponent was kind of agreeing with me that that was the correct play, because if he does end up having to do Be Prepared, then we kind of just have another turn to rebuild our board. Don't overextend, you know, and just kind of take the win there. Yeah, but my opponent shows that he has nothing in his hand. So we are just gonna go into the next game. But hey guys, before we continue this game, don't forget I still have a Trove giveaway on this video right here. I'm linking it right here on the screen right now too. Go and sign up, man. I'm just giving you a free Trove if you win. One winner when I hit 1,000 subscribers. So the faster we get the 1,000 subscribers, the faster you might have an opportunity to win. But yeah, game 3, winner takes all. We are 1-1 right now. Let us see who takes the victory here. My opponent gets to go first. He gets Popsicle. I get my Robin Hood. He gets Visions. We always like to see them playing Visions on 2. It just means they didn't really find anything, but there's a high chance that they'll hit on the following turn. But yeah, I get my Lantern out. I'm going to, on turn 3, I'm going to play Naveen with the Lantern, and we're going to go for a whole new world. My opponent only had an ice block on 3, which was actually kind of good for us. It makes me consider maybe I should not fire off Whole New World when my opponent doesn't find the Fishbone, because what ends up happening here, as you can see, is he finds the Fishbone now, goes for the ink, and then also finds a Tipo, goes for an extra ink. So that was a lot of ramp. And I don't know if that was the right decision on our part. We were also running out of cards. I feel like I needed the whole new world to go out, but maybe I should stall when my opponent is struggling to find his stuff here. But yeah, something definitely to consider to continue testing. This turn I actually considered, I have another whole new world in hand, so I thought about maybe playing it, but my opponent ramped so much that he didn't have much in his hand, so I ended up singing Bare Necessities, and what we see here is I discarded the ice block, and my opponent only has Big Sisu and Tamatoa in his hand, and he is at 6 ink, which means he cannot play it unless he forcibly plays his entire hand, which would also be good for us. So I think it's correct not to play Whole New World here, where I can now start stalling a little bit. I played out Pete just to have a character on the board, but yeah, on this next turn I play out Tinkerbell, and we're just going to keep questing. We're going to pressure while my opponent can't play anything. He inked one card on his last turn and just passed back to us because he didn't have a play. He does find a Madame Medusa on this turn, which is unfortunate. He hits our Tinkerbell, goes for a quest, and now on this next turn, I know he has Big Sisu, I know he has Tamatoa, and I just decide to go ahead and play the Whole New World. I don't know if that was the right decision, but I do discard his Tamatoa and his Big Sisu. Sisu maybe wasn't putting enough pressure on this. Well, no, that's not true, because he does have Ice Block. I was worried that he would Ice Block Naveen and just take 2 of my cards out. Especially if he took Naveen out, that would be really bad, because I lose my singer, my Whole New World singer. So I wanted the tempo play. I wanted to sing Whole New World instead of having to pay for it. So I just go ahead and do it. But yeah, I don't know if that was the right decision, but I felt like I had to. I think I was kind of cornered into having to do that, but yeah, we go ahead questing with everything else, and then just shifting play over to our opponent. He finds a Maui, which is really nice for him. He gets to get rid of our Naveen. No more big songs. Well, Tinkerbell's out there, so you know, never say never, but yeah, just a Maui out there. I'm gonna use Pete to take it out, just because Pete isn't really doing much for us. He helped us out earlier, but you know, he wasn't giving us very much right now. I'm gonna go ahead for the quest. I play out a Piglet, and then I think really hard about what to do here, because it's tough. This is such a tough matchup with such crazy board clear on my opponent's part, and I end up just playing out. I play everything I have. I feel like I have to commit here or I'm going to lose. And we see this is a big problem, because he does have 2 ice blocks. He double ice blocks Tinkerbell and goes Sisu for the entire board wipe. That is the most OP thing I have ever seen. This card, this combination is insane, and that did not feel great at all. But yeah, we just continue with our Tinkerbell, and I'm feeling here like I made a mistake. I think in retrospect it is a mistake. I totally overextended into his board here, but we see that my opponent has a Be Prepared anyway, so when I played everything out on this turn, he would have just sung Be Prepared like he did right there, and then just run me over now with Tamatoa. So yeah, I think I misplayed this game, but I don't think it would have made a difference. I think my opponent still probably would have won. I think the only thing I'm double thinking right now is I should not have probably played Whole New World in the first or the third turn. I think seeing like Naveen and Whole New World so early feels like right to play it, but when I saw my opponent miss Fishbone Quill, I should have probably just held back and then just, you know, played it out. I don't remember my hand though, so I can't say if that was the right play. But yeah, I'm top decking here. My opponent has Tamatoa. He quests for 7 and then plays another Tamatoa, so it's kind of over at this point. But yeah, I mean, fun games. I'm really glad for the practice, because when I see myself making these mistakes, making some of these plays, I can consider for the future what to do. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this too. I hope this helped you out with the matchup if you are interested in it. And yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Ciao!